It's interesting the distractions that we get. The main thing I'm thinking of as I begin to read Psalm 105 today is that we're not far away from Psalm 119, that longest of Psalms. This one's a reasonably long Psalm, so let's get underway. Psalm 105. Give thanks to Adonai, call on his name. Make his deeds known among the peoples. Sing to him, sing praises to him. Talk about all his wonders. Glory in his holy name. Let those seeking Adonai have joyful hearts. Seek Adonai and his strength. Always seek his presence. Remember the wonders he has done, his signs and his spoken rulings. You descendants of Abraham, his servant, you offspring of Yaakov, his chosen ones. He is Adonai, our God. His rulings are everywhere on earth. He remembers his covenant forever. The word he commanded to 1,000 generations, the covenant he made with Abraham, the oath he swore with Yitzhak, and established as a law for Yaakov, for Israel as an everlasting covenant. To you I will give the land of Canaan as your allotted heritage. When they were but few in number, and not only few, but aliens there too, wandering from nation to nation, from this kingdom to that people, he allowed no one to oppress them. Yes, for their sakes he rebuked even kings. Don't touch my anointed ones, or do my prophets harm. He called down famine on the land, broke off all their food supply, but sent a man ahead of them, Joseph, who was sold as a slave. They shackled his feet with chains, and they bound him in irons, until the time when his word proved true. God's utterance kept testing him. The king sent and had him released. The ruler of peoples set him free. He made him lord of his household, in charge of all he owned, correcting his officers as he saw fit, and teaching his counselors wisdom. Then Israel too came into Egypt. Yaakov lived as an alien in the land of Ham. There God made his people very fruitful, made them too numerous for their foes, whose hearts he turned to hate his people and treat his servants unfairly. He sent his servant Moshe and Aaron, whom he had chosen. They worked his signs among them, his wonders in the land of Ham. He sent darkness, and the land grew dark. They did not defy his word. He turned their water into blood and caused their fish to die. Their land swarmed with frogs, even in the royal chambers. He spoke, and there came swarms of insects and lice throughout their land. He gave them hail instead of rain, with fiery lightning throughout their land. He struck their vines and fig trees, shattering trees all over their country. He spoke, and locusts came, and grasshoppers also without number. They ate up everything green in their land, devoured the fruit of their ground. He struck down all their firstborn in their land, the first fruits of all their strength. Then he led his people out, laden with silver and gold. Among his tribes not one stumbled. Egypt was happy to have them leave, because fear of Israel had seized them. He spread out a cloud to screen them off, and fire to give them light at night. When they asked, he brought them quails and satisfied them with food from heaven. He split a rock, and water gushed out, flowing as a river over the dry ground, for he remembered his holy promise to his servant Abraham. He led out his people with joy, his chosen ones with singing. Then he gave them the lands of the nations, and they possessed what peoples had toiled to produce, in order to obey his laws and follow his teachings. Hallelujah. Hallelujah indeed. Psalm 106. What a wonderful psalm, just remembering God with all the way from Abraham down through the Exodus, through Joseph to the Exodus. And as I'm reading that again, what stands out is all the bad stuff that happened and the fact that God made it happen. Joseph was sold as a slave. They shackled his feet with chains until the time when his words proved true. And I like that. It's an interesting one. God's utterance kept testing him. God's utterance kept testing him. And then God did all these things in the land of Ham and the land of Egypt and allowed his servants to be treated unfairly. Why? Because God had a plan. And we may not know the plan. What we have to do is trust that God knows the plan. Trust in God's love in everything that he does. A good psalm to remember and to read over and over, Psalm 105.